Hi guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football, and right now we're here for a juicy take. Why Cristiano Ronaldo's move back to Manchester United is not a great one. Now, I'd like you to take a look at the whole video, but if you definitely don't agree with me, there is another video where we talked about why it is actually a good move, and possibly the points that you want to make there will be present in that video over there. But yeah, here's our opinion as to why we think Ronaldo probably shouldn't have made this move, why it's not great for him or for the club. Starting out, before we get into it, give us a like, share, and subscribe. And keep an eye out for more content and let us know where we can improve. Let us know what we can do better so that we can keep making more and more of this. Alrighty, so diving right into it. First off, this move seemed more like a reaction than an actual plan. All throughout the transfer window, there was never any real intent for United to make this move. They weren't even seemingly in the market for a striker. However, this move started out once the news that Ronaldo would move to Manchester City began gaining some steam. So it doesn't paint a pretty picture on the move on the whole when you realize that this move was more out of a reflex to avoid City from getting their hands on Cristiano than Manchester United actually having a real plan of bringing him into the club. The other part of it is United already have Cavani. Again, an aging striker, probably only has a year, maybe two to give to the club. And here you have gotten a replacement who does exactly what he was brought into the club to do. So at this point, you're stuck paying Cavani's wages while barely giving him any game time. And even if you do give him game time, it's going to be small clubs. Like, do you really want a highly paid striker to be playing for you in the English League Cup? Probably not. Not to mention, Greenwood has had an amazing start as a striker. He's also played out wide, but his finishing has been amazing, and he's proving more and more his credentials towards being that central striker for United. Now with Ronaldo coming in, he is definitely going to want to start almost every game. He's a beast. He's a man on a mission, and he is one of the world's best players, so he's not going to want to rotate with an option when he is fit. He's going to want to get those game times in, which does not bode well for Greenwood. It probably also doesn't look too good for Rashford, especially if Ole wants to keep his defense a little bit more solid, which means Pogba's best position stays out wide on that left, which is also Marcus Rashford's position. And you could have argued that he can move into a more central role, but given Cristiano Ronaldo coming back, that probably may not happen either. So definitely harming that youth development to an extent. They might also get some good experience, but really at this point in their careers, these players need more game time and less mentoring. Another part, United spent, I think, a little upwards of 20 mil to get the transfer through, not to mention the wages that they're paying Ronaldo for this move, which I'm pretty sure are quite astronomical. I feel that this money would have been much better spent in getting a central defensive midfielder, because right now United's problem seems to be that their defense cannot survive with only Fred or McTominay playing, or even Matic for that matter playing. They need at least two of them playing in that double pivot, sitting behind Bruno Fernandes to give them any kind of defensive stability. That was very, very apparent against Southampton. So this money would have probably been a lot better spent if they would have contributed this funds towards getting someone like Basuma, or basically a sitting midfielder who can not only win challenge but also distribute the ball from deep and give them a little bit more solidity. That way Pogba can still be in the midfield but play more higher up the pitch, and also free up that left-sided attacking position so that Rashford can come and fill into that spot, or just give Sancho more room to kind of move around that pitch if needs to be. The other issue that I had with this move is that now the team is again going to be geared towards playing for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's been focused on Bruno Fernandes so far, but Bruno, being a creator, automatically draws other players into the game. Whereas with Ronaldo, he was going to be the focal point of that attack. He's going to be the center for everything that United does. I don't know whether this is a good thing for Bruno Fernandes or a bad thing. Clearly, Ronaldo being part of the Portuguese lineup was not the reason why Bruno did not perform well at the Euros. That had more to do with the depth in midfield that they had and the lack of defensive stability that required someone like Fernandes to be on the bench for the team. However, I still don't see this as being the best move going forwards for a club to make a 36-year-old striker your focal point in the attack when you're really trying to think about more long-term ideas. The other part why I think this move is not good for Ronaldo himself is for the sole reason that he probably wants to win the Champions League again. He's won the league in a bunch of countries already. He's not as obsessed with winning a league, which still will be really hard with this United team and an amazing achievement if they do pull it off. But as far as I'm concerned, I think he's chasing down that 6th Balon d'Or, and he's chasing down that Champions League trophy as well, number 6 for him, to seal him as one of the greatest players to play in Europe. And does Manchester United make him more likely to win that compared to Manchester City? Most likely not. I think United will still progress a lot deeper in the competition simply by Ronaldo being in that team. But I will be very surprised if United come close to lifting that Champions League trophy this season, or if they even come close to winning the league this season. Although I do hope that they at least are able to push this title race right into the last month. For the very least, this is going to be a four-horse race this season at the very least, thanks to the transfer business that United have just pulled out. The other part about it is also, where does Paul Pogba now fit into it? Because if Rashford does come back, and Rashford does deserve that starting berth, Ole will have to make some defensive changes. Ronaldo already has some issues with tracking back, which I don't blame him for. He's at a certain age where he needs to conserve his energy, conserve his stamina, and use it in what he does best, which is not defending, which is scoring goals. But that does mean that United will need to rely a little bit more on their midfield to give that defense, which means that if Rashford comes back, it comes down to a choice between either starting Rashford or Paul Pogba. In which case, does that just make Paul Pogba's move outside of United even that much more obvious and that much more guaranteed? Absolutely sorry about that. So if anything, I believe this move further makes Pogba likely to leave United start of next season, getting on a pre-contract, probably to PSG, might even go back to Madrid. And lastly, this was not a decision that either the club or Ronaldo wanted to make. This feels like I'm looping into another decision, but this is more like from Ronaldo's point of view. His intention apparently was to go to Manchester City, and the only reason he managed to do the turnaround was because a certain Sir Alex Ferguson got involved in the situation. And he came back to United out of loyalty for the club. He has also taken somewhat of a pay cut, I believe, to come back to United. But you never want a player to return to your club out of a sense of loyalty as opposed to a sense of really wanting to be there. I wouldn't say Ronaldo was guilted into that move, but it surely probably didn't look like it was his first choice. But he had to concede and come back to United out of a sense of loyalty for the club. I still hope he does amazingly well for the club, and I am not a huge United supporter, but they have definitely done some really, really good business this transfer season. I still don't think this is a great move for him or the club, but we'll have to wait for the season to end to make that final decision. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments, and yeah, like, share, subscribe, and go to the channel page, follow us on Instagram, and keep an eye on for more content. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care. See ya.